Okay, welcome back, guys. Today's video is going to be a very long video. What I'm going to do is, so I'm going to put some timestamps here. I think it would just help you. I'm going to do it in 4 parts. I want to talk about the current coins that we have. So I'm going to do that, some of these really good projects out there that I believe have good future. I'm going to talk about it in part 1. I'll do a part 2, what coins might have the potential to pump a little bit right now with the market the way doing the thing it's doing. I'll do a part 3 which is regarding a 5-year investment strategy. I have been getting a lot of questions recently regarding this, and I was actually going to do a separate video, but I think I'm just going to put it in this one because there's a lot of information that I think is time sensitive. We need to get that in there. And I'm just keep a part 4 about a strategy of long term and short term, what one should do if I was in their shoes, basically. So without any further ado, I like to greet you guys with my lovely little heat map, just to show you what's going on. And you can, at a glance, you can see that some of the coins are pumping, and obviously some idiot coins are also pumping as well. But other than that, let's go straight into some of the coins that I've picked today. So I've picked quite a few, and I'll go through them one by one and see what's going on, and we'll have a little look, right? So this is, because of the market dump that we recently had, right? So what we're looking at, if you look carefully, and today I'm using the EMA and the moving average. So the exponential moving average, okay, and the moving average, I'm using that quite a lot, especially the 50-day moving average and the EMA ribbon for the 20, 50, 100 and 200 days. So if you can see here, I've got the 20, 50, 100 and 200 day. 21, 20 days is a 1-day difference. It doesn't make much of a difference. What we're looking at is what the market is doing right now because of these dumps that we've had. So this is on an hourly. Let me take it on a daily, because what we want to look at is some daily information, right? So what's happening on the daily? Now on the daily, we have some good news for VeChain, for example. So this was previously what we drew. This was our trend line. We broke a little bit below that, but other than that, we've been continuously going up. So this has now become a more of a bigger trend line than where we were. So if you remember, we had it, our trend line started back here. So this trend line we can now adjust and actually bring it this way because of how the structure looks like so far. So the market structure for VeChain is actually very good, and also VeChain benefits from VTHO, right? So if you know that whenever the block confirmation happens for VeChain, you do get a VTHO, and especially in Binance, I think you get that as a reward. Now I have recently bought a whole bunch of VTHO, and then I've sold it, and we've done all of those. But let's not look at all of those. I mean, those are just noise, right? I mean, you can easily just buy VTHO if you want. That's in a different situation. I'm not going to talk about that right now. But when we're looking at the exponential moving average, we can see that we're way above the 20-day moving average. So, this particular pullback is kind of healthy because we overstretched, right? So we've come down a little bit, but the bulls don't want to give up. And you can see that in this particular candle where the bulls say, no, we need to go up. But our exponential moving average is telling us that we're actually overextended. So when you look at some of these kind of data, you'll notice that, there are some indicators that saying that we are overextended. We shouldn't be doing what we're doing. And let me quickly flip this because I know I did something yesterday, and that's clearly showing here. So let's flip this. Right, so if you look carefully, now that I've flipped it, what the Fibonacci's are telling us. So the Fibonacci are saying, right, we are definitely overextended. We should be coming back down. I mean, this is the area that we should be coming back down. Obviously the 21-day moving average suggests something completely different. But as long as we hold the trend line, we stay above the trend line, we're actually fine. Now with Bitcoin, I'll show you the trend line in a little bit. We'll get to that. There has been some issues. We broke the trend line and we came down, but I'll explain a little bit more in detail what that is. But just by looking at the daily candles, if you look carefully, and I'll adjust this a little bit, right, there we go. You can see that the zone that a lot of the bulls would be picking up, this is where the area is like to buy. So from that point onwards, we can see a nice little potential gain. And this I think, like, so there was a brother who was asking me a few days ago about some of the coins that he wants to buy, and I'll give you a list, but this is definitely one of those in the list. The V chain is definitely one of those. It has good structure, it has good potential, it had good use case, massive investments coming in from corporations, and not for the cryptocurrency. This is funny, right? They're getting investments for the actual supply chain management protocol. A lot of people are actually using it, so that gives us a very bullish scenario that it has a very good future. It will survive. So, no financial advice here, but if anybody was to load up on a few bags and hold it for the next 5 years, it's a good coin to hold on to. Okay, so in the short term, I mean, you can see that we might come down, and 21-day moving average is our worst case scenario. So there's no point putting lines here and this and that, but right now it's still looking bullish. The trend is still high. I mean, if you look carefully, we still have a mini trend here. So if you just look here, we have a mini trend as well, and the mini trend is still very, very positive so far. If we break this mini trend, we could easily come back to this particular Fibonacci 0.65 to 0.618 level, and then it will be picked up very easily. So this is a short-term trend. So far it's looking good. The long-term trend is very, very good, as you can see, signified by this yellow line. Actually, I'll change it to a different color. Let's put it to a white line, right? So signified by this white line, you can see we're very positive. So this is on the daily. I don't want to go on the weekly. I think we're going to get a lot more data, but the point is daily, weekly is ultimately, I mean, if you look at this, each candle is a day, and so far we've been doing very good. So I think that kind of explains everything. Let's move over to another coin now we want to talk about. Actually, do you know what, before I move into this, right, I want to talk, actually, do you know what, I'm going to talk about it later. Let's go to sushi. So this sushi, you can see this particular chart actually existed for some time, right? So this is not a new chart. This is an old chart. I have actually shown you this, and as you can see, I locked it because obviously we needed to get to that target. So we've had the dump itself affected sushi as well, right? Over so what's happened here in the market recently, this current dump. And if you look carefully, sushi did fall apart. It went to its previous, this Fibonacci was drawn previously, and it went to its Fibonacci line and kind of helped. So this is the 50% Fibonacci, and I mean, it's just beautiful how you see that this particular 50% Fibonacci was respected very well, picked up by the bulls, respected, helped support, and currently holding support on that particular level. Now, the sad thing about it is we did drop below the 100-day moving average, and this is the 200-day moving average, by the way, this blue line here. So it's not just a random occurrence, it's there. It's the 200-day moving average. Sadly, because sushi hasn't been around for too long, we can't really have a 200-day moving average line drawn here. We do have a 100-day, which is fine. So right now, I mean, we need to hold support around here and hopefully go back up and get back into this golden pocket ratio and see what happens. But there has been a few funny things happening with sushi. So sushi, the coin, hasn't really been doing well, obviously, because of the market dump. As you can see, I mean, if you look carefully, the dump has affected us from all-time high. If we go down to as low, we had almost a 57% correction. That's bad. So currently holding support at, as you can see, 49%. So it didn't invalidate itself, which is good. So the Fibonacci's are holding, everything is holding. So sushi definitely has good potential. Now, what you have to look at is with Sushi, Uniswap, 1inch, and a few other exchanges, these DeFi protocols, Sushi has been actually, while all of this craziness has been going on in the past week or so, Sushi has been picking up momentum and has been taking a massive market share. There's a lot of people using Sushi for their DeFi purposes. So obviously you don't need the coin to do it. So the protocol itself is being used. The coin, unfortunately, not. It has had a dump. But remember, the coin is not significant, right? What I'm trying to say here is, this is what I've tried to explain in, I think, a video, yesterday's video. I tried to explain that a smart contract isn't really a coin, right? So when Sushi created a smart contract, duplicated, cloned Uniswap, there is a coin, right? The smart contract is the coin, but that doesn't give any value to the coin itself. Coin value is independent to what the contract is, and this is what you can see clearly indicated here, where basically Sushi has gone ahead and you know, the price is dumping, but the utility, the use case is very high, right? So it's gaining utility comparatively, you know, opposite to this. So even though price is dumping, the utility is going higher. So, you know, let's see how it holds. If you're holding sushi, I would just say, just pray that it doesn't go down. But remember, the utility is very high. However, the coin value itself is a whole different story. I am personally holding sushi. I'm going to hold, even though it's dropped. The worst thing you could do is when the market starts dumping and you're in a red candle, do not sell. You don't sell on a red candle, you sell on a green candle. So if you were down here, you made profits and you sold, you did good. But if you all of a sudden became down here, you shouldn't, because that's, you know, it's an indication that the market could go either way. It could go down or up, and you shouldn't be selling at that time. Just hold the bags, right? This is how you become a bag holder. Let's move over to 1 inch. As I've mentioned, 1 inch. 1 inch as well, you can see it's a very new coin. This is a 50-day moving average, and as you can see, we don't really have enough data to support the 50-day moving average. But so far, as you can see, it's been holding support on the actual 51-day. In fact, the dump yesterday didn't affect it. And there's another thing about 1 inch as well I want to mention. What I've noticed is, you know, I watch the whale alert, right? Whale watch, I call it. So I'm always watching whale wallets and this and that. And I've noticed a lot of traffic, a lot of buying going on for 1 inch and then being moved off. And also, if you know, recently all of this impact here was done, or even some of this impact was done because we had the Coinbase effect, right? So just before Coinbase, we had this effect, and then Coinbase comes along and then it launches, and then we have a little bit of a dump, you know, and the Coinbase effect is being picked up now. And I've seen orders in the magnitude of like 30 billion, 20 billion, sorry, million, sorry, 20 million, $30 million worth of 1 inch being bought and moved out of Coinbase. So when you're looking at numbers like that, you got to understand that there's something far more bigger going on, and a lot of whales are currently accumulating 1 inch. As I always say, follow the money, okay? Follow the money. Don't worry about the news, follow the money. And so far, as you can see, the money is holding the fort, right? Holding the 50-day moving average. So let's move on to another one. Again, I'll get to the list of coins, and this is again another one of those lists, right? The other one I've recently changed my mind about, and so back in the days, remember I said who needs fan coins and this and that, Chili's, right? So with Chili's, I have actually now changed my mind. I think Chili's does have good potential because I did more deep analysis and using more data and doing probability analysis, right? So probability analysis is something you're not going to find. It's like taking the market, taking all the information you got, taking all the social media, the market sentiment, people sentiment, and what they're doing, and you add it all up together, and you're like, does it have an opportunity? So, you know, Chili's coin makes fan coins for sports companies, right? Sports clubs like football clubs and this and that. Well, it is becoming a lot more popular, but I don't know about the fan coins. I don't think they're going to do that well, right? How many fan coins do you really want? And I've mentioned that route, but Chili's building it. I think there's a good opportunity. Chile might be at a really good area of buy, and as you can see, it dumped, and it's on the current 100-day moving average, exponential moving average. It's holding line, holding fort. So I think there is a good opportunity. If somebody wants to hold this for a longer term, this would definitely be one of those coins. Short term, I'm not sure, but long term, I think it's got good potential because over time, more and more clubs will be interested. So we're just looking at the logistics, like the logic of it, right? Let's quickly go into Elrond. Now, with Elrond, as you can see, it's been supported on the 50-day moving average, which is really good. Also, we almost came to the golden pocket, which is actually on the 50-day moving average. Very significant, small dip. I wouldn't even call this a dip, just a blip in the system, basically. But so far, it's holding very good. And if you look at the structure of how we've come, right? If you look at all of this, right, you know, ups and down, the structure is just beautiful. This is what you look for. You look for a structure. This is where we were. We came back, we tested, we broke up, and then we got rejected. I mean, a small blip in the market, brought it down again. Is it going to continuously go, cascading down? I don't think so. I think it's going to be holding. And if you look carefully, what I want to show you is this particular line here. This is, and this Fibonacci, you've probably seen, it's been there for some time. The 0.56 Fibonacci, it almost came down to it, but it did not go below it. So it didn't invalidate itself. It's kept very strong. And that just says to me that there's good, strong sentiment from the whales who want to protect this. So this is definitely in a good buy zone. If somebody wants to pick it up, it's a really, really good discounted buy, because it is in the it's in a bigger golden pocket. Obviously, this is the perfect golden pocket, but ultimately between the 786 and 0.5, it's a very good opportunity. So a lot of people picked up some really good and made some really good benefits there. Anyone who picked it up here basically made some good money. So let's move over to Solana. Solana has been doing some really, really wonderful stuff, and it's doing it really well. Actually, let me activate the EMA on this, right? Give me a second. Let's see if I've got the EMA. Let's activate the EMA, right? Activate the EMA. Let's see what the EMA is telling us. So this is beautiful. We have a massive dump yesterday, and yet Solana still pumped during that time, and it pumped from the 20-day moving average. I don't know if you can see this, right? So I'll enhance the colors a little bit when I edit the video. I'll enhance it. The only edits I'm going to do is just to enhance the colors, basically. So you see, if you look at this area, it literally came down to the 20-day moving average, helped support, and then bounced back up straight away, and then got rejected, but it's created a new all-time high, right? And I was talking about this with someone, and this, remember, we did this this particular chart, we did this some time back, right? When it was around $21, we did it, as you can see, and we broke all of that, and we smashed through the 1.1618 level, and currently, just after we smashed through it yesterday, we came back to hold support here. So in this particular case, next Monday, so actually I can do it now, because this is technically a Sunday candle. So if this is the Sunday candle, then we can do it, right? So let's do it this way, and let's move this over as well to here, because obviously we always change our data once we confirm a closer week and the week hits the target, then we close it. So now the new target for Solana would be the $45 target, and I think it could possibly do it. There is potential for Solana. Also, I mentioned on a group chat yesterday, said all the dump that happened yesterday, actually Solana pretty much protected everything, right? So with the pump the Solana had, actually recovered all the losses that I made during the dump yesterday, or the day before yesterday, Sunday's dump, right? So Solana's been a very good hedge, and I'm very bullish on Solana. So yeah, I mean, anybody holding on to it, there's a lot more. Trust me, there's a lot more coming with Solana. And worst case scenario, even if Solana wants to dump, there's too many support levels here. It's just going to be pretty tough for it to go dumping down unless we have a market collapse, right? But other than that, I mean, if you just look at the structure of how it's been building itself over many days and over time, I mean, this is just beautiful structure. As you can see, it launched, it pumped, it had a little bit of a correction, and then it kept on doing this, right? Kept on doing this, and as you can see, this is December 2020, and then when it started, it just hasn't stopped. It's technically been it hasn't gone parabolic, but it's been doing a very good job, going nice and easy and steady, right? Which is really good. So anyone holding on to it, there's good potential for this, and Solana is taking a lot of market share, which is quite good. Now let's move over to Uniswap. Uniswap is going to be launching version 3 very soon, right? Very soon they're going to be launching version 3. And I'm just looking at this structure and I'm thinking, okay, this is slightly parabolic, right? But other than that, if you look carefully, right, the support, the 50-day support was held beautifully, right? The 50-day moving average support was held beautifully. So that is a significant number for us. I mean, the 100-day is a different story, but the point is, when you're looking at the 50-day moving average, there's really good potential there. And as you can see, it did peak slightly above the all-time high. It couldn't hold, so sadly there's nothing we could do about that. And I can now adjust this because we have completed, so we've completed another week. We can do that, and also I can now adjust this as well and bring it somewhere around, yeah, this would be the one, right? Let's just bring it here actually no, it's this one here. This is the bottom of the pattern, right? So we bring it here, and if we bring it here, let's have a look together what we see. So we see Uniswap showing us that there's a potential to next level to go to is $51. So if we get a nice little rebound here and we come up above the golden pocket, we should be punching and pushing towards this 1618. As I said, bull run's not over. There's still a lot more game left in this, right? So and you know, I'm very bullish about this because Uniswap version 3 should be it solves a lot of problems that Uniswap is currently having, even Sushi is having, right? So you know, I think Uniswap right now, I mean, Sushi taking some of the market share from Uni, it's only, you know, going to happen because Sushi is coming up with new products and this and that. But Uni releasing the version 3, Uniswap 3, once it comes out, I think a lot of market share from Sushi and other places are going to disappear, right? Are going to disappear. But then again, they are strong contenders. So that's one of the things I like to see. You know, when you see a team, so regardless whether they forked it or regardless whether they cloned it, cheated, whatever, it doesn't matter. And this is a smart contract, by the way. The coin is independent to the contract, but the point is you have a massive team who are trying to solve problem, and that's what you like. Sushi has a massive team, even though the owner or founder of Sushi has wiped his hands and is left, right? But you know, there are some involvement, and most thing is when these projects get picked up by developers who are trying to solve the problem, they are strong projects, and every one of these coins I've shown to you are strong projects because of that very one single fundamental, that they have massive developers, right? So it's got potential, and this would be the new target we'll be looking at. I don't really see much of a worst case scenario right now, because and I'm going to get to this in a second, right? So you'll understand why I don't see a worst case scenario for altcoins. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin, and when I do, I'll mention why. Let's move to the next one, right? So we're on Ava. Now Ava, let's adjust this, right? Ava X, right? Avalanche, I've mentioned on some of my videos how bullish I am on it because it's a blockchain product and it's been done by a guy with 40 years worth of experience in, or you know, research experience trying to basically get this. And as you can see, it held that 100-day support beautifully. I would say this is a opportunity because this is what I'm going to show you, right? Hold on. You're not going to get this discount again. What I'm trying to say here, if you look carefully, right, we went down to this, we had a 62% discount on this, because when this one pumps, when all the other shit coins stop pumping, this one will pump, and when this does, you've got at least 60% that you're looking at easy, right? And if we stop 60% and we say, okay, we're not going to look at 60%, what if we go from here, right, we go all the way up here, right? So we're looking at, as you can see, right, a lovely almost 290%. So it's a good opportunity, it's a good buying opportunity, but it's one of those coins that you have to be in it for long term. I don't think it's got much short-term potential. It's not one of those pump and dump coins. It's a project. It's got a massive team behind it. It has future potential. So that's what I'll be looking at, the future of this company, and see where it goes. So again, when I give you the list, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Of course, everybody's favorite, Cardano. So Cardano can be adjusted now as well, because Cardano did last week create a new all-time high, right? So we've adjusted Cardano. Also, we're going to take the point and we're going to adjust that as well. Forget this blip. This is a blip. Let's go short term and see what short term we're looking at. So short term, pretty good. We're still looking at the $2 1618. So if anybody hasn't been already holding it from these times here, and there's another mathematics as well I'll explain to you. So for example, someone bought it here. I'm giving you an example. Someone bought it for $1. All right, let's get a drawing. Let's draw this. Like, so someone got it for $1, and then they added some positions later on, for example, at $2, right? So $2. What is the average of this? Well, the average would be, right, equals 1.2 5, right? So the average would be they bought it for 1.5. So that's what I want you to understand, that a lot of people buying here, adding more positions, as much as they could, right? Constantly adding to the positions. They're averaging out at a slightly different number. However, if anyone's already holding it, right, then you've got some good news. One second, let me put this back where it belongs. Right, then you've got some good news, and what I want to show you is what we're looking at, right? And again, you can see the 50-day was broken but respected, and then bought back up and held on the 50-day moving average. But from where we were, so say for example today, if someone was to buy it today, right, and we know we're going to go to that level, right? So you're looking at a 73%. You're looking at a 73% gain. Ignore the days. Okay, we're not counting the days, we're counting the percentage. If we go to that, that's a 73% increase from today's price if someone was to buy it and hold it. And Cardano, as I said, is one of those coins that it's not a short-term coin. It's 5 years. If you're not in it for 5 years, it's not going to be worth it. So quickly, let's move on to its competitor, which is Polkadot. And you all know I'm very bullish on Polkadot. Same reason why I'm bullish on Cardano, because the ex-founder of Ethereum is the founder of Cardano, and an ex-founder of the Ethereum, another one, is the founder of DOT, and they're all trying to solve problems. DOT doesn't look really good, but actually, funnily, it does. So it doesn't look good on the 50-day moving average. It looks like it's coming down. It's trying to hold support. And also this same pattern is forming on Bitcoin as well. But DOT's not over. DOT's still doing a lot of work. So for that reason, I think there's a lot of potential on DOT, what it can possibly do. So if we just take this and take the most recent low point and just put this on the map and say, right, what are we expecting DOT to do, right? So we're not looking how low it could go, right? We're not looking at that, because remember, we're only going to be looking at how low could go if the market turns and wants to become a bear market. But I'll tell you about the bear market when I get to the Bitcoin. It's a long way away. Just based on Polkadot itself, it's showing 1618. Now, you all know that Polkadot also has a secondary testbed coin called KSUMA, KSM. Let's put it on. KSM, right? So this is KSUMA. KSUMA is like the test bed for everything, all the work, the developer work that happens. So they do all the testing on KSUMA, and it's a live blockchain, by the way. So they do all the testing there, and then they bring it over the thing. At some point in the future, KSUMA will be merged with DOT. So if KSUMA is merged with DOT in the future, these numbers are not even relevant, because the numbers that we'll be looking at is somewhere up here somewhere, right? So for a long-term hold, again, this is one of those beautiful coins. For 5 years, you're gonna laugh at it. It's a hold. It's a gem. That's what I call a gem. Okay, let's move on to another gem a lot of people don't really know much about. Again, this is an old chart. I've just opened it. It's an old chart, and so far what we can see, and let me just adjust this. Give me a second, let me adjust this, because there is something you don't want, or we all don't want. Let's get rid of that. There you go. So what we're looking at is, this is an old chart, and we've definitely broken above those and gone to the first target level, and we need to get to the 1618. We will get to there. Of course, he's had a bit of a rocky day, but if you look at whale alerts, what you'll notice is a lot of Link is being bought. Right. In fact, I think today was the first time I saw some Link coming and being dumped onto an exchange, but massive amounts of Link. And this just signifies, this wick alone tells you how much buying pressure there is, right? So when the market dumped, Link wasn't going anywhere. They were just buying it. Why? Link is launching its version 3. Link has been in the news. How many coins do you know that go in the news? I'll tell you which ones go in the news. Bitcoin goes on the news. Ethereum goes on the news. And guess what? Link now goes onto the news, because Link is doing some really good data mining. The protocol is literally data mining. It's about information. How do you capture information from blockchains and then put it in a simple way for the user at the other side? And this technology can be used in banks and other financial instruments. So there's a lot of interest in what Link is doing, and there's a lot of investment coming in, and Link is now launching version 3. So version 3 becomes even better, even faster, So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of development, and I've talked about Link. It has good potential. So it's one of those, again, long time hold, but on the short term, Link is holding support. Again, I'm not going to be looking at the bearish scenario because we're not in a bear market yet. We shouldn't be looking at the bearish scenarios. We should be looking at the bullish scenarios. So again, Link currently pointing and saying, well, technically I can change this as well now. See, everything is changing because of what happened last week, the pump that we had last week. Everything is changing. So if I put this here, and if I take this away, so as you can see, this was from a long time ago. If we just get this to this particular level, then Link is showing a $60 coin now. So it's not 55 anymore, it's $60 now. But again, it's got massive potential. Let's see what happens. Now let's move over to number 3 coin in the world. Right, number 3 coin in the world. I mean, look at it, how beautiful it is, how beautiful it is, right? From where we were to where we are now. It's number 3 coin in the world. And beautiful thing about this one is, if you look, we're holding the 20-day moving average. Here was the first time in March, right? So on the 25th of March, we dipped slightly below. But if you look carefully, every single move that we've had from a very long time, and I'm trying to show you here, if you look from December, so December 14th onwards, every day it's been holding, apart from a few blips here and there, it's literally been holding the 20-day moving average, right? A little blip here, holding the 20-day moving average. So from looking at this and looking at this structure, right, you can see, I mean, just look at it. I'm zooming out for you. Just look at this very lovely structure, right? What you see in it. Right, so what we see in this, right, and this is the big BNB market cap as well, right? So what we're looking at is the total BNB market cap, and what you can see is holding this structure, beautiful structure, right? It's only looking that it wants to go up, right? Now if we just go to forget the market cap and look at the daily coin, right? So BNB USD, let's do a USD one. We're just going to do the actual USD calculation. All right, so we're not doing market cap, we're doing the USD calculation. Again, let's get rid of this because it's going to confuse you. If you look, it's holding that 20-day moving average, and we're not even doing the market cap, we're doing the actual coin. So the market cap and the actual coin itself are correlating with each other and showing the pretty much the exact same data. That is massive confluence, right? So again, if we look for the lowest point and we put one of these on, as you can see, since we've had a little bit of a dump, things have changed. So previously we saw it was 1,085. We've come back to the $924 target now, and pretty much it's in the golden zone and it's being picked up exactly as it should. It's being picked up, so there's a lot of future for BNB. I mean, the dump we had was a bigger picture. There was a massive thing going on. There's more to it, and I'll talk about it today, because obviously the market right now, I'm making the video, market is still dumping, and we're going to get to this in a bit, right? Why it's still dumping. Okay, let's move over to our second best coin in the world, and that will be Ethereum. And you all know this particular line here is the previous all-time high that we had back in 2017, and I've kept that just as a little bit of a guidance, right? But there's more to this particular so this area you see here, there's actually a lot more to it, right? And a lot of people have heard of something called the cup and handle, right? Well, this, my friends, over so many years is a cup. This is a cup, by the way, right? This bounce up and down, it's looking like a handle. But I don't want to talk too deep about what I'm seeing. But obviously what we're going to look at is currently what the market structure looks like. Again, it dropped below the 20-day moving average, but if you look carefully, what we want to look at is the bigger picture. We've had many drops, but one thing we haven't had, right, and this is since so October 2020, all right? So if you can see September, was it September? Let's have a look. Let's go back and see what we're seeing. Yes, so around September 2020 was the first time we went below, just a blip, went below the 100-day moving average. But after that, if you look carefully on this chart, all you see is we've been holding support on the 50-day moving average, 50-day moving average. You know, anytime it went below the 20, we held support on the 50-day moving average. I mean, here you can see where we've had where we kind of broke above our previous all-time high. We had a massive dump, but again the 50-day moving average was supported and brought back up again, right? And then here we've had our 50-day moving average blip and then back up again. So it's trying to hold this 20-day moving average very strongly, and so far, again, if you look here, the dump happened and it held that 20-day moving average. It just refuses to be there. So the worst time in Ethereum for the last 1 year or 1.5 years now was actually in September, right? So this particular area here, right, where it actually went to the 100-day moving average, but just after that it got ready, and as you can see from this chart here, it literally got ready to do this stretch upwards, right? And it did that. So the market structure looking beautiful. Now you might be asking, well, what's your bullish scenario? Well, obviously we do have a bullish scenario because last week we created a new all-time high. So whenever we create a new all-time high, we have a new target, right? So the new target would be, and this is a short term, is 3,195, right? So by the way, guys, I'm not going to save some of these marks on the videos. Sorry, I'm going to save, obviously it's on the video, but I'm not going to save it on my charts because I have other reasons why I won't do it. And you'll notice I'll launch them in the future. You will see there's some of the old numbers that are still there. As long as we don't reach those old numbers, like the 2,700, which is now changed to a 2,800. So when we don't hit the previous targets that we've made, no point making new ones. I can do it now, and I am doing it now, but normally you shouldn't be doing this, right? But ultimately, as I said, we got to look for the future and see where the end is. Okay, so now that we've got all of those out of the way, you know I haven't gone to BTC yet. Of course I haven't, right? Let me do the BTC for you so you'll understand what's going on. Because the thing is, BTC is part of a bigger picture. Everybody needs to understand where BTC is. BTC is the king, right? So just before I take you to BTC, we want to go back down here. Let's go to CoinMarketCap and let's see what's happening in the market today. So number one thing that's happened in the market today is we've had a few more, I think 4 or 5 more new coins pop up. Leave that, I'm not bothered about that. Market cap holding at 2 trillion. It did dip slightly, it went to 1.9, but it got bought back up again. And I'll tell you more stuff, it'll show you more data, you'll understand. Yesterday, day before yesterday, we had a volume of almost close to 300 billion to even a little bit more total volume in the market. Today we're at 230, so we're about 70 billion less. Back in 2020, the total market cap was around 200 billion. So anyway, we're doing that in a day now, what we had in 1 year. The dominance, we did, so day before yesterday, so before the dump, we were dropping and we had 51.3 and we've gone up by 0.4%, we've gone up. However, Ethereum has been losing a little bit of dominance. So Bitcoin's been gaining, Ethereum's been losing. Now, we want to look at other stuff, and I'm going to come back to this when we talk about some of the picks. But for now, what I want to show you is, you know, look at some of these numbers so you understand exactly what's going on, right? So we had, what was it? The Bitcoin itself, right? Where is it? Where did I put it? Oh no, we do have it here. Stupid me. Look, it's here. Right, I did put it here. So what we're looking at is the market cap, right? So today when I was looking at the market and looking and observing who's been dumping what, right? I noticed that this was at 1.06 and it dropped to 1.03. So about $30 billion worth of BTC was dumped. That's what caused the price to go to this, right? Ethereum, there was a few billion. I think it was on 48, it went to 46.2 billion. This one had about 2 billion, but XRP also had a little bit of a dump. I'm not sure how much, but don't follow this, right? It's a dangerous coin to follow. But what you have to realize is this. So yesterday we were sitting at what, 35 billion, and we just had a 50 billion increase, and it's just been pumping like mad again. But again, there's no supply, there's no max supply. So you know, this is the danger zone. I want to talk about some of these coins. on the short term, and this one's for somebody, a friend who, Amit, who actually asked me today, should I buy some XRP? Bro, it's the same thing for you as well, right? This is XRP. Of course, it has a limit, which is fine, right? You know, there's this much in circulation, whatnot, and this and that. What I want to say is, look at this price, the all-time high, which we created back in 2017 or 2018, and look how far we are. In the short term, to be honest, right? And I'm going to be completely different. I'm not going to give you my view. I'm going to give you a market view. To be honest, this has a potential to probably pump to $2. You know, I mean, people are going to, the XRP army is just going to take all the BTC they can afford, all the money they can afford. And remember, they're not your, you know, boys holding a couple £100 worth. They're holding like thousands, if not millions of pounds worth of XRP. So what they do is they come and they'll pump it, and this could potentially go to $2. But you got to be really careful, because remember, $2 is only 50% off the all-time high. Does it have potential to go all the way back to this top price or even beat that? Don't really know. I won't risk it. This is why I'm not holding any. I mean, recently I've mentioned like Dogecoin. I mean, the kind of stupidness that's going on, and people just want to get wrecked, right? Which is fine. People want to get wrecked because this is being manipulated big, billions and billions of dollars being pumped in. It's not people, right? People can turn around and say, oh, it's retail. It's not retail. Retail are being lured in by God knows who, and they're going to get wiped out. But this has the potential to actually go to $1, and that's just me saying this, but I still won't buy it, right? Because it's dangerous. You don't know when to exit. You don't know if it's going to go to $1. If everybody's saying it's going to go to $1, then guess what these big boys are going to do, right? They'll dump it before you get to $1, right? So what you have to understand, they are selling you the rumor. You are buying in the rumor that, oh, it's going to go into a thing. But we're looking at this and we're saying, well, possibly, you know, it makes sense, but all of this is going to get wiped out. I mean, the other day we went to 67 billion, and then from 67 billion it wiped down all the way straight away, got wiped out, and it went to 36. You know, so someone's lost 32. I mean, globally, right, people have lost 32 billion in being Dogecoin. And funny thing is these boys who are pumping all the Dogecoin, guess what? They just want your Bitcoin, right? So what do I mean by that? Because Dogecoin valued in BTC, if you look at the value in BTC, has been pumping. And all they want to do is take all of this back into BTC and take your money to increase their BTC portfolio. So that's what's going to be happening, right? Anyway, let's go straight into BTC to show you a lot more. So market cap, as you can see, the total market cap took a bit of a dump. What was the size of the dump? As you can see, let's have a look. So from all-time high where we were to where we are now, we've had approximately 25% correction, 23-24% correction in the market. So, you know, do you know what? It's not bad because it's not over. If we had a 50%, then yeah, we would be worried. But right now, I think it's just a little blip, because what's happened is, remember I told you, you got to look at the bigger picture where Bitcoin and everything else is different. Now I am going to just have a little bit of fun here. A very little bit of fun. So I'll just put a thing there and Fibonacci there just to kind of mess with all of you. As you can see, numbers change, everything changes. We did go close to 2.3 trillion. And we are looking to go to 2.7 trillion. So I'm just going to leave it there and go straight into Bitcoin. I know you've all been waiting for this. So it's the same chart that I used yesterday. And, you know, we held the 50-day support. As you can see, I didn't even update the chart because this line, remember yesterday, this line was small, and it still is because I haven't saved it, right? There's some charts I don't want to save over and over again, because if I do, then we're going to have some massive confusion, and these charts are relevant. This particular chart is very relevant for now and for the future, and you know, in the future all of these lines will be support. And as you can see, every time we have a market dip or anything, these exact lines that you've seen in my videos are becoming the supports, right? So so far holding, it's dropped. I mean, yet last night we did go above the 56 that we had to go to 56. We went there and then we dropped a little bit. For us to be, for this market cycle, so for what Bitcoin is doing right now, for us to be positive again, and I mentioned it to someone else, because I was looking at this long-term data, and what I saw was this, right? So I'm looking at this point here, I'm looking at this point here, this point here, this point here, right? I'm seeing that, and I'm looking, and look at this, how funny it is, right? This point here on this today's candle, what do you see? This is the resistance, you see. And I mentioned this to someone on WhatsApp last night, I believe. I think it was about 3 a.m. or something like this. I said, bro, that's the number, so save that number. And I think I said to him it was around 50. Yeah, it was around 58. So if we move it up a little bit, there you go, right? It was around this number, so around 58. I remember, where was it? Oh, there it is, sorry, my bad. This is where it was. So you see, I had it down here. I actually followed these 2 wicks. This is where it was, right? So around this particular area. But what I'm trying to say is this is the resistance. Ultimately, this is the resistance. It's not far off from the 20-day moving average. So currently we're hovering on the 50-day exponential moving average. So let's see what happens. So far, holding support on the lines. And as I said, these lines, these numbers, everyone on my WhatsApp group has the has these numbers on the group. I've sent it many times. It's the same number, they never change. And you know, also guys, if you're on the WhatsApp group and you know friends and family who you want to share this information, who might help, yeah, you're more than welcome to add them onto the group, obviously, as long as you can trust them, because I don't really want any random person coming along who we can't trust. But yeah, I mean, if somebody wants to really learn and understand this, you're more than welcome. And anybody who knows me directly, let me know. I'll share you the link and you can come into the group and ask questions and whatnot, and I'll happily help you guys out, because I think I do a lot more help on the WhatsApp groups and everything, obviously, to people I can trust. So I just wanted to show you, basically, you know, the line itself has become the thing for us right now. So now let's move over to another chart. So look, I'm going to leave this here. We know that currently we need to get above this 58,000 psychological barrier. It looks like 57, but it's actually about 50. This one here, look, 58,000. We need to go above that. Again, I'm not going to save this line because this line is not a relevant line. This is only because of the small blip that we had yesterday, right? This is only because of this one candle. We have to put this line. Every other line is our previous predictions, and we have to hold this. But we don't go around changing predictions every day, right? So this is not a predicted line. This is a major psychological support line that we resistance line that we have to break above in order to start confirming, because as soon as we go above these traffic areas that we had, and this is, as you can see, from February 21st, if we go above this, right? So is it February, what did I say, February 21st? Wow, 21 February 21. Okay, so look at that, 21st of February. Now, if we can go above this, then we are a lot more confident and see what happened, right? But there's more information I want to show to you. And in order to show you that, let's go to our bigger chart, right? And what I've done is I've highlighted some of the colors just to show you what's going on. And I've made it larger so you can see. This is the Bitcoin logarithmic, and I'll take it into the weekly show so you can see more picture. But if you look carefully, this is our 50% Fibonacci, and we're above that. 50, and also our 100-day moving average is also above the 50% Fibonacci. Right, and we're currently holding the 50-day moving average, which is also above this. So this is a very important factor. We peaked above this. We're gonna try and stay above this. So in order for the market sentiment or anything to change, if we come to this level, we do. And look at the number that we're seeing. It's a 41,000. So just look carefully when I do this. Well, if I put this here, look at what this line shows, 41,976, right? So close to 41,000. And I'll show you another chart regarding these numbers. So what we're seeing is that that's when theoretically things could get messy, right? Things could get really messy. But other than that, I mean, we've got the 100-day moving average as a support. We're holding perfect support at the Fibonacci 1618. I'm not joking. This is why I've colored it for you. So if you look carefully, let's go to log, and let me show you what this red color one is. Look, the 0618, or you can call it 1618, it doesn't make a difference. This is the Fibonacci that we're holding. I mean, isn't that awesome, right? That we're actually holding support on the Fibonacci. And as you look carefully, this is not my line. This is the logarithmic line. And as you see, massive support, massive support area here. And this is exactly where it was protected from. Where are we looking to go? The next target would be around here. And as you can see, the next target has changing. Every week is changing. Now it's about $68,000, right? So around here, 68. This is today. Tomorrow it could be a little bit more, but the point is this is where it is. So market wise, the structure that I saw, and let me go into the weekly to show you this, right? weekly to show you. Right, so market wise, as we all know, right, we are going to top out around this figure here, and this figure's changing every day as well, so let's not talk about that. What we are looking at, so when you do when I did the Fibonacci and everything, let me stretch this a little bit so you can see more. Right, so when we're looking at where we are now, so we're going to look at 2013, right? This is 2013, and 2013, as you can see, we did peak out at that Fibonacci level, right? The Fibonacci level, which is the what was it? The 786. Hold on, give me a second. Let me tell you which one it is. Yeah, 76, right? So 786, technically 786, right? So we peaked out at the 786 before having a nice mega correction for a few weeks, and then we pumped and we went and hit the all-time high, right? And if you look carefully on the 2017, we didn't do that. We just went straight past it. But look carefully at 2021. All right, if you look carefully at 2021, you can see exactly what we're doing right now. So we might just have a little bounce and come back down again, and we might support this 50% line and then carry on. So this does look more like the 2013, as you can see here, 2013. We did dip below, and we just try and hold it as much as we can. So that's that. So this is what we're looking at now. I want to show you something else, and for this I want to take away this, and I want to take away this, and I want to show you this. Okay, because these are important things to look at, right? Important things to look at. So if you look carefully, so this is me zooming into the chart right now just to show you what I'm seeing, right? So we've got 2017 peak. This is 2013 peak. This is the peak before the peak, right? And what we're trying to say here is look carefully. We had months and months of, okay, leave that bearishness. This is month and month of, okay, let's go back here, actually show you. So up to 2013, right? So this is 2011. Yeah, 2011. So we can still use that as well. We got month and month of bullishness, and then 1 month of not so bullish, and then we continue. Here we had the dump in 2011, which is fine. Then 2013, 2012 comes in. We have months and months, and then we have one candle bearish. Months and months bearish. Months and months, and then we have 2 months of bearish, and then months and months, and then we pump until we hit the top, right? So remember the top. So if I activate the thing, you will actually see what I'm trying to say here, right? This is the top, right? So let's deactivate this. Remember, whenever I say top, we mean the red line. Let's deactivate this so you can see the better picture. Then we come down and we go all the way to 2017, right? We're coming to 2017. Look, months and months of bullish, one or two candles here. Bullish, 1 or 2 candles here. Bullish, a little bit of candle here. A little bit of sideways action is always good. Months and months, and then we have one here. Well, guess what? In 2021, right? 2021, by the way, we are having our first red candle, right? And it's only showing up red because we're actually technically almost at the end of the month. This would probably be our first candle. If this is our first candle, then this candle here, and let me draw around it just to show you, this candle here is actually the same as this candle here, right? And if I then take it back a little bit more, let's take it back a little bit more, and let's move this, right? Let's move this here. It's technically the same as this candle here, right? So I hope this kind of makes sense to you. As you can see that if we just continue go months and months and months and months and months and months of not having a red candle, it's actually very dangerous for the market. This is actually quite good and healthy. So if we have 1 month, it's actually very good. That's what's happened here. Okay, so now I want to move on to, so this was I think so I'm going to go into part 2. Part 2 would be some random picks for now, right? And I really want to do this one. So what I'm going to do is go straight into that. So give me 1 second.
I'm warning you. Next time it's gonna be glass.
Okay, let's move into the picks for now. So any picks that I will give, and I'm just going to go off the coin market cap just to kind of show you. I mean, I have roughly picked up on it just a little earlier on, like coins that you should pick, right, for short term. So if we look at the greater market, and we're going to look at the 360, right, coin 360 heat map. Right now, if anybody wants to pick up something for a short term, anything that is in red right now, anything, right? So BTC, just as you can see, just updated to green again. But anything that's in red right now, you know, you got this 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, pretty much is a good buy on a short term. Because remember, we're in the kind of in a position right now where the altcoins will potentially take over dominance, and we have talked about it, right? So if they start taking over dominance from BTC, then we are going to see some massive pumps around here, right? So coming back onto the coin market cap, and I'll update this as well. As you can see, some of this is updating right now. Money's coming in, volume's going in, and look, BTC's dropped 0.1% of the market dominance, right? This is exactly what's going on. So when you've got a situation like that, short term, I'm saying this, and this is crazy, if someone had any of this, you could look, there's a good potential it might pump. This could even pump, right, because of all the hype going on, but then you're going to get wrecked, right? So if you make a nice little percentage, get out of it. These are not short term, by the way, these are long term, so I'm not going to talk about it, right? I'm not going to talk about it. Short term, so let's have a look at short term, right? Short term, Filecoin right now is in a very good position. So if you look at it, this is the all-time high, this is where we're sitting at right now. It's got a very good potential to actually go to a certain level. Again, short term, you know, we're looking at NEO. Okay, NEO has a good potential. It's almost over 50% of where it was, so for it to go to the all-time high, there's a better potential, and I've talked about it, and I think it's been pumping hard. As you can see, it's been pumping hard since we talked about it. This one is a dangerous coin. I don't really trust it. There's too much money in there, and I don't know what's going on, who's manipulating it. But again, if anyone's holding it short term, you should be doing okay, right? This is a little bit of a gem. Sadly, I don't really see enough exchanges doing it. I think if it goes to Binance or maybe Coinbase or some of the big exchanges, then there is, right now, it's just being traded on decentralized exchanges. So there's a lot of drama going on. I'm not sure. All right, Monero. This is not a short term, this is a long term, but ultimately Monero, short term, you're going to see massive gains. Because remember, when I first talked about it recently, it was around $200. Look where we are right now. We're not fast, you know, it's moving fast, it's got good potential, right? Short term, Terra Luna, as you can see, these are discounts. When you look at these numbers, these are discounts. As long as it's around 50% of where it should be, it's not a bad deal. If it's a quarter, like some of this coin, like I didn't even mention, I just went past it. If it's like sitting at a quarter or less than a quarter, like that's like what, 21% of where it was, it's got no hope, right? So that's what I'm trying to say here. Some of the coins who are 50% up, really good hold. So, you know, like for example, this one here, Aave. Good potential, right? Short term, good potential. It can actually bounce back again, right? Cosmos took a little bit of a hit, but again, still worth it. Not sure what this one's doing, how this one's even surviving, and how this one's even pumped to this. God knows. But yeah, I mean, look, pretty much what I'm trying to say here. Short term, algo, I'm going to get to algo as well. So, but short term, there are plenty of coins here. You can literally pick anything randomly, and you'll be surprised. They've all got good potential on the short term. I mean, look at this one, Thorchain, right? I mean, look where the high was, and look where it is. This has a brilliant opportunity to actually have a breakout anytime now. It's only down 3%. That's a discount because, you know, actually, let's have a look at Thorchain, right? So why don't we just have a look at Thorchain? So what was it? Rune, right? Rune USD. So let's have a look at Rune USD, right? And see, did I just go to hit BTC? Actually, no, I won't go to hit BTC. Let's go to Binance because hit BTC is fine, but it hasn't got enough enough volume there for us to calculate what we want to calculate. So this is where it is. It hit the all-time high. It's come down a little bit, and let's have a look and see what the potential for this is on the short term. So let's just go down here because we don't really have much data here. So if we just use this data, oh my god, I mean, look at this. Rune is projected to $26. So it's a beautiful discount. If someone's picking up around this price right now, this is the opportunity that you've got. So again, these are short-term stuff that I think have good potential to do some really good stuff. So what I'm going to do now, I don't think I need to do these picks, right? Because it's going to be pretty crazy. I think most of these that I'm going to pick right now, if I pick the ones for the long term, that's going to be better. So let's go to part 3. So for part 3, what I want to do is I want to give you some picks that I've got, right? And this would be your 5-year hold. And you probably noticed that I didn't mention some. There will be some coins I'm about to mention that I haven't mentioned before, or even on this video, because I could have easily mentioned, for example, Litecoin. I didn't mention Litecoin, but I am about to mention Litecoin. And let me try and explain certain things, right? For now, if you're looking for short gains, of course, you might get some pumps and this and that. But what I'm looking at, right, is long term, right? I'm thinking long term. And some of these coins that are on long term, I've actually scoured through the top 300 coins. So, you know, the pages, I've gone through like top 300 to scour through and find some of them with good fundamentals and whatnot. And, you know, survivability. So you look at the whole thing, it's like, what's the project doing? Does the project have enough team? Is there enough building going on? You know, what are they, you know, is there enough of everything? Basically, you're looking at it, right? You're like, okay, is it got a good team? Is the team active? Is the team doing its thing? Is it on social media? Is it pumping? Is it doing, what are they doing? So when you look at, analyze everything, you see this potential. So anybody who says to me, oh, you know, bro, so for example, this one's for Amit. Amit, you said to me, you know, you want to put in, you know, 5 grand. Well, here you go. If you're going to put 5 grand, stick to the best 3. Stick to the top 3. You know, stick to the top 3. They won't fail you over 5 years, right? We know over 5 years they're going to do a lot more, right? So what I mean by that, say for example, this is Bitcoin now. Well, we know that over the next 5 years, and let's activate this, right? Let's activate this, right? If we activate this, we know that just for the sake of it, we're looking at 2025, right? And we bring, sorry, 1 second. All right, let's bring it down here. We say, okay, 2025, what's the potential? Say 2025 January, right? Okay, 2025 January, what's the potential for it? It's worth 560,000. So it's going to be 10 times the value from where it is now in 5 years, just from looking at this logarithmic chart, right? So when you know these kind of numbers, you know you're going to do 10 times more in 5 years. So isn't it worth you putting money in there? Ethereum, pretty much the same thing. If this does 10 times, this will also do 10 times, right? If they do 10 times and this one, Binance is still around, then Binance coin by that time, you know, will be burning a lot more coins and will be worth a lot more, right? So these are the kind of things you got to look at. It's like burn. Remember, Binance wants to bring this to 100 million coins in total. So they're still going to burn 70 million coins over the next 10 years, right? So of course it's a long time, but even if they manage to go to 35, then this is going to spike up. That's what you got to look at, right? So these are good potential. They easily got, you know, I mean, Bitcoin guarantees has a 10x potential in the next 5 years. This has a 10x potential. And this also has a 10x potential, funnily, right? Because the numbers are going to drop. These have potential, right? So there's, you know, good coins out there that I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that, you know, if you're going to be investing for 5 years, then there's a big list on my hand that I have right now, which I won't show to you, but they are definitely projects that could last. So number 1, and I'm going to do them in numbers so you can start writing them down if you want. Get a pen and paper and write it down. So the number 1 coin I would invest in if I was to put money in, and this is no financial advice, by the way, Bitcoin. We know it's become a good store of value. We know institutions and everybody else knows about it. We know more people know about Bitcoin than anything else. You take cryptocurrency, they think Bitcoin. Very simple. It's the number 1. It's the only one. So Bitcoin, 5 years, definitely a very good hold if you're going to buy, regardless what price it is. 5 years investment, brilliant. Number 2, Ethereum. Okay, number 2, Ethereum. Ethereum has the largest developer community on the planet. Now, how would I say this? It's largest, trust me, bigger than anything you've ever imagined. You see all these 9,200 coins, and I've mentioned them many times. probably around, say, about 8,500 or even close to 9,000 of these are built on Ethereum. These are all Ethereum developers. Every one of these, when you see, so you've got Tether, you see, where is it? Uniswap, VeChain, well, not VeChain now, but Chainlink, and a few others, right? And there's plenty more. They're built on Ethereum. That's what I'm trying to say. So they got the biggest, largest Ethereum community out there, right? It will survive. And also, you got to remember, the Ethereum Foundation has pretty much majority of the Fortune 500s invested in them, or interested in them at least, right? Governments, all sorts, are looking at this technology, right? Because they also do, this is the public blockchain, right? So the Ethereum blockchain that we see is the public blockchain, but they also have a private enterprise blockchain. And that's what they're going to be doing. Like Binance forked out of the enterprise. So Binance is literally the same thing as Ethereum, but it forked using the enterprise blockchain. So Binance is running its independent blockchain to Ethereum. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's a lot of money that is sitting, and there's potential for Ethereum. So it could easily 10x. So this is one of the things. Binance Coin, as I've already mentioned, again, Binance being the largest cryptocurrency exchange on the planet, they're always trying to innovate, always trying to do something new. And so far, I mean, I don't think anything can take them down, because they're always adapting. That's what I'm going to say. They're adapting, right? So they're constantly making new partnership, new countries, bringing new money in, third world country, second world country, whatever you want to call it. I like to say basically all around the world. So globally, they're bringing new countries into the industry via their native means. So like Turkey has decided to ban the US dollar and this and that, but even now Binance is actually trying to find a resolution on how to deal with Turkey directly in their native currency. So Binance is always trying to do something different, right? So that would be my number 3. Of course, everybody knows that for long term, I don't think Cardano is ready yet. Cardano has a good few more years left in it. So for the next cycle, or even 5 years down the line, I think Cardano has potential to easily go to $10, right? Easily go to $10. So if you can go to $10, it will be very interesting. Again, remember, for it to go to $10, remember what the current market cap is. So we're looking at 38 billion right now, right? So if we hit $10, right, just 10 times that, randomly, just 10 times that, we're looking at a $380 billion coin. But when you look at things, maths doesn't make sense, because Ethereum is 240. Remember, if Ethereum 10x's, that would be worth 2.5 trillion. So if it's worth 2.5 trillion and this one's only worth, say 10% of that market, it's nothing, right? So it just reflects like everything will grow in a very smooth manner. So if this can be $10, then it's going to be worth 380 billion. So let's leave it there. The funny thing is with Polkadot is the same thing, but Polkadot could spike if they do merge Kasuma. If they don't merge Kasuma, then we're still looking, this could easily 10x from here, go to a $350 coin, and if it does, then this also 10x's. Again, it's not an irrational number. 320 billion, it can be done, right? So that's possible as well. So we're looking at that. Now, Litecoin is interesting. I do want to put it on the radar for a longer term. Litecoin is one of those coins that during every bull cycle, it does pump hard, but it also dumps hard as well. What I'm going to say is, if you haven't gone into it, and I'll be transparent, I'm not in Litecoin. I used to be, I'm not in it right now. I got out a long time ago. If the opportunity comes along and if we see a massive significant dump, then I highly recommend, but no financial advice, I will probably do that myself, pick up some Litecoin. It's one of those coins that it will survive, but there's more to it as well. Litecoin is trying to build cross compatibility with Cardano. So they are working alongside Cardano. So that means when Cardano is ready, Litecoin might just come up with something which makes it interoperable with Cardano, and a lot of other things could happen. Cardano has also partnered with Coty. I've mentioned Coty. Now, I don't really recommend anything about Coty. God knows what's going to happen with them. I don't care. But with Cardano, they've got Cardano Pay, which is technically built alongside or on top of Coty. So Cardano is trying to build his own payment system, and mostly for the Africa and this and that, for countries where they're struggling to think. And he wants to, the founder or IOHK itself, what they're trying to do is bring crypto adoption in a very simplistic way to places like Africa and all sorts, right? So there's going to be a lot of work going on, and I think Litecoin will monetize on what they're trying to do by partnering with them in their own methodology, right? So it has good potential. Uniswap, okay, again, the largest decentralized exchange on the planet. It gives the opportunity for anybody to launch anything they want. If the coin has good fundamentals or anything like this, it will survive. So this is the largest kind of decentralized bank for Ethereum, right? So as long as Ethereum survives, guess what? Uniswap will survive. And Uniswap, remember, they gave their coins for free. They didn't even charge anybody. They had a fair launch, right? So if it's worth this and it's sitting here, this has the potential to 10x, right? Now let's move over to VeChain. I've talked about VeChain. For a long term, this is 23 cents. It's undervalued in my opinion. It has a larger use case, product supply management, infrastructure, where you can have something tracked from one stage to another. And also remember, VeChain was created by a Chinese computer science tech guy. He works with RFID, NFC chips and everything. So he does a lot of actual physical world stuff. And this was built to track products. And you track it by paying with the VeChain basically. So there's a lot of use case there, and I see this having a great potential. This one from where it is now. So obviously we know that this was the all-time high not long ago, just a few days ago. It went up 1,000% from the previous. I can tell you this I'm very bullish, has the potential in the next 5 years to easily be $1, if not $2-3 worth, because there's a lot of use case. If you look at how the market, like current situation, a lot of stuff has stopped, a lot of businesses have went bankrupt and a lot of things, and I think we're going to have a lot more automation. And if we do have automation supply chain, then you need something as robust as this to do the management, and I think a lot of people are adopting, and it is definitely happening. So there's potential for this to go to $1. So if anyone wants to pick something under $1, this would be my best bet that I would put in. I would say this has more potential than anything else. Of course, there are other coins as well. Right, Link, I talked about it already. Massive potential. Link version 3 coming out. Link version 3 or Link 2.0. Link 2.0, I believe, is coming out. I'm sorry if I've said Link version 3. Link 2.0 is coming out. Now, Link 2.0 has the potential to pump, and I think a lot of people are very bullish. There's a lot of holders on Link, so there will be a very interesting thing with Link. Some people are predicting like 400, 500. I wouldn't go as far as that, but I could easily see it double. Let's look for the other one now. Theta, massive partnerships with companies like Google. They're running a node. Google's running a node, a actual blockchain confirmation node. I mean, you can imagine how bullish that is, right? It has potential. I think right now here it's okay. It's a decent price, slightly overpriced, but definitely got some it's got potential. I mean, from where we are, if you look at this, 10 billion easily, this could easily jump to 40-50 billion, probably even more, because remember, when the market starts climbing, so when the numbers up here start moving up to trillions, then these ones have potential. So all the others have potential to also follow the market, and that's where there's a potential there. Long-term hold, again, Filecoin, right? I'm not a big fan of Filecoin, but again, if we see, so this is going to be a similar situation to Litecoin. I wouldn't buy it now. I'll wait to see if it dumps, unless I just buy it and I say 5 years, then that's a different story. If I buy it now and leave it for 5 years, I don't care what the price is. It doesn't make any difference to me. But if I see a massive discount in Litecoin, or if I see a massive discount on Filecoin, I am going to pick it out. So far, it is a discount, but again, once you do the total market, you understand that, okay, there are some fundamentals that do protect it. However, it is a very risky coin. The reason is you've got 2 billion Filecoin and only 67 billion out here, and they do have the power to mint all of this if they want. So this is the risk I don't want to take. But if I see this dropping down to some ridiculous price, I will pick it up. right? Solana, we've talked about. Of course, it's got great potential. It's a blockchain. It's doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Great potential for a long hold. This is not it. It's got a long way to go. And again, it's pretty undervalued, right? And another thing just to notice, right? Remember, Solana is, because of it's a blockchain, you got to mine it. It doesn't have a cap. Again, it's very similar concept to how Ethereum runs. So a lot of these, remember, they're forks, or the clones of some blockchain, right? So we're going to understand. Now this is something different, right? This is something completely, utterly different. This is known as the Chinese Ethereum. Best thing about the Chinese Ethereum is they have a market cap. They are locked to this market cap, and this, I believe, is undervalued. I believe this has potential. They can build smart contracts and all sorts of other stuff. I think this is undervalued. Even this is undervalued. This easily should be somewhere in the region of what Binance coin is at the moment. All right, because that's what Binance wants to do. They want to make it 100, and these guys want to do the same thing. And I think that it has potential to at least go close to that price. So this is a long hold. I would definitely hold on to that. Now, this is a coin, when it comes to big exchanges, as I mentioned before, if it comes to big exchanges, I will definitely buy it. Right now, I'm not. Reason is Clay is actually, the founders are Kakao, Kakao Talk. I'm sure you've heard of the app. It's one of the biggest Korean app, like WeChat in China. Kakao is from Korea, and it's a massive application that, I mean, they have banks, for God's sake. They have all sorts of other crazy stuff, right? The big corporation. So Kakao owning Clay is potential, and that's why it just popped up from nowhere all of a sudden. And as you can see, again, I think the valuation is a bit high right now, from where it went to and where it is right now. I think it has potential to come down. If it does come on a discount and it launches on some big exchanges, then definitely a good 5-year hold on that one, because it's Kakao, no other reason. All right. Also, I think I missed another one as well. We talked about VeChain. Now, VeChain has a child chain, I would call it, right? It's called Vitho. So again, Vitho, I think somewhere in, God knows, in the bottom somewhere. Vitho is another coin that I would hold. If you're holding VeChain, then just hold some Vitho as well. I would recommend that. You do get some for free if you have it on the blockchain and they mine it, and the blockchain confirmations do give you a reward. But I would still recommend buying some Vitho. What is next? Let's have a look. I mean, Monero, for being what it is, it's a privacy coin. Of course, it suffered a lot. It has, it's got a lot of drama news with it. But it is one of those, if somebody's looking for extreme privacy and all they want is privacy, nobody to know what's going on, Monero is the king, right? And for that reason, I believe Monero is undervalued. Right. For that reason, I believe Monero at $500 is undervalued. Monero should be $1,000 a coin, right? That's what I believe, for simplicity and privacy and what kind of technology they're doing. And, they're fighting. They're definitely fighting the good battle, right? So privacy, anonymity, all of those kind of things. Of course, sadly, the Monero is being used for nefarious activities. There's nothing you could do. Everything is being used by that. And Monero, if you look at it, is only like a very small 0.0000 whatever percent of the total market cap. When you count that in and look at how much money, cash money, people are using to do nefarious stuff, dodgy money laundering, Monero is doing nothing, right? Monero is, compared to that, Monero is nothing. So it has good potential. Again, I would say it's a long hold. So if someone wants to pick it up, hold it and keep it long. So right, next one, Terra Luna. Now, Terra Luna, I've mentioned it just a bit ago. Terra Luna has good potential. Again, discount, 5 years, hold on to it. It has good potential. It's got a good team behind it. That's the most important thing. And they are active, right? So active team, very good. BTT, more of a joke, right? So BTT I do hold. I need to see Justin Sun do something, right? I mean, if these guys don't do any work on this, they're just stagnant, right? And this is the Tron team. That's why I've just skipped Tron. I'm not even talking about Tron, right? Same thing situation, right? They're benefiting from the current market pump. But look, I mean, it was at 14. It's at 0.007 right now. 50%. It's got potential, not bad. But the point is look, there's sentimental value with BitTorrent. It's one of the first ever torrent networks out there. A lot of people support it, but I think the business model they've created for the use case of BTT is just pathetic. I think Tron just needs to skip that. Justin Sun, he just needs to skip the business model and say, you know what, BTT is just a token, right? Rather than trying to make it into a utility token, Okay, he might suffer from securities, but just make it something else, for God's sake. No one's going to use your token to do faster file sharing and this and that. I mean, faster file sharing, we've got Filecoin for that, and you can see how far that's pumped, right? So this is the kind of thing that I need to look at. And obviously we all need to look at, and also look at the supply. It's just ridiculous supply. And I've noticed everything Tron builds has ridiculous amount of, what's wrong with these guys, right? They're trying to make things look like less than 0. Like pennies. But guys, you don't need that. You really want something to succeed, build something else, right? So this, I think, is a bit of a mess, but I am holding some just for the sake of a very small amount, 0.001% of my original portfolio, because I've sold everything else. So this has good potential. I've mentioned this on another video. I said exchange tokens and exchange coins, and I'm going to get to the exchange coin. So obviously Bitcoin is an exchange coin. They have potential, by the way. They have potential. In crypto.com, I don't like the actual website. I don't like the software. I don't like the app. I don't like their fees. They're stupid, right? Everything they do is wrong. But being a cryptocurrency exchange and having an exchange coin, this particular coin actually has potential. I'm not joking, it actually has potential, and I've held it many times. I've bought it, during a dip. When it pumps, I sold it, and I've made quite a bit from here. So this is a coin that you should be on the lookout for. Crow.com is not bad. FTX, same thing, right? Funnily, Binance has a big stake in it if they don't own the whole thing, right? Great coin, great discount. I mean, if you look at it, we just recently had this dump. Great discount. It has good potential. 5 years, definitely. And also what FTX is doing is trading actual stocks. So they make a tokenized version of the stock. And that's, you've probably noticed on Binance recently, they said Binance Stocks token. It was the same thing what FTX is doing. That's what they're running over there, right? They're sharing the same data, and you can trade a fraction of a stock or whatever, and you don't need a middleman. You don't need anything else. So if anyone is interested in trading stocks, that's where FTX comes in, right? This is one of the reasons why it's been pumping hard. I mean, back in the days when it launched, I think it was like $2 or $3. I mean, look where it is now, 746% up, and it's still got potential. It's still got potential to go up. So that's that one. We talked about Aave. Aave has another coin. I forgot what it's called, but there are plenty of other stuff, right? Cosmos. Cosmos is technically undervalued. A lot of these, there's a lot of blockchains here. I can't remember all of them. They're built. There's a lot of projects here. They're built with the Cosmos SDK. You can literally duplicate a Cosmos and launch your own thing, and that's what's happening. But Cosmos is, I think the business model is quite bad, but they're not getting enough love, right? I think it's undervalued, and I think over time, more and more projects that find the SDK to be easy and using it, this could easily be like $100 coin. So again, it's a 5-year hold, nothing short term. Algorand, another blockchain, right? Again, this is a 5-year hold. They haven't even started. They're too new, right? I think the adoption hasn't started yet. Once the adoption happens, it's very good. And also, I want you to look at this. Total number of algo and the number of algo in supply at the circulation at the moment, right? So when you look at that, you see like, okay, more than 54% is already out. Only 44 out there that hasn't been mined yet or hasn't come out on the market yet. So it's got great potential for it to go. So of course, having such a large number not being mined, there's potential that it could easily go down a little bit. But when I'm looking at it, I'm seeing a 1/3 of the previous all-time high, and I'm thinking massive discount. Because when it crashed last time, it went so far down. It's come back now, so it's a massive discount, right? Who else were we going to talk about? Right, of course, how can we, so Pancake. Now let's actually go back to Pancake. I've been very bullish. PancakeSwap is similar to Uniswap, but built on top of Binance chain. So this is a Binance contract, smart contract. And so far it's doing good. So a lot of people who are using Binance, they're using either Pancake or they're using the bakery, right? So either one of those they are using. So similar to Uniswap, they're small projects, but they're doing quite well, and they're both, like Bakery and Pancake, are actually on the list as a 5-year hold because they got potential. And if you look at this carefully, 3,273%, it's gone up. So guys, just do the maths, right? 5 years, trust me, this is going to be insignificant. This is nothing, right? It's going to be a lot more than that. They got potential. They're not one of those dump coins, because they another thing is that some of these coins are built first. So because they're built first, they have potential to hold the fort, right? So newcomers are coming to compete with them. It's like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's being 51% dominance today. Why? Because everyone's trying to fight with him, and then all the other coins are stupid. Right, I know a lot of people are fans of Maker. Too volatile. So I'm not going to say much on this one. Very volatile. I mean, when it drops, right? It drops, trust me. And when it goes up, it goes up, right? So I'm not going to put any comments in there. I know a lot of Ethereum fans, a lot of Maker DAO fans, or DAI fans. They love their Maker, right? I'm not a big fan of Maker, so I won't really suggest it to anybody if I'm not a big fan of it. Reason being is because I've seen the swings are just too high or too bad, so there's no point. Avalanche is a blockchain, a genuine blockchain, right? And right now, as I said, this is a discount. I would treat this as a discount, right? It has potential. Not today, 5 years from now, it has discount. But even then, it's already pumped 627%. But even though it's pumped 627%, it still has a massive potential in the future. Because remember, when you're hedging yourself against some of these coins, some of these blockchains will survive, the others won't. Some of these projects will survive, right? And again, we're only looking at a 3 billion, right? Nothing much. And if you look at the market cap, you can see almost half or over half of it has already been mined. The other half is coming out. So there's a lot more going on here, mined or whatever, but it's there. Thorchain Rune. Thorchain Rune is basically what would I call this? So it's an anonymous thing. So let me just go into this to show you some data regarding this. All right, so this is what it is. A Thorchain is a decentralized liquidity protocol that allows users to easily exchange cryptocurrency assets across a range of networks without losing full custody of their assets in process, right? So let's just put it this way. It's similar to 1inch, right? This is like the 1inch version of well, you know, Thorchain is 1inch basically. Technically, it's the same thing. So that's what I'm trying to say here, right? So if 1inch has potential, then Thorchain also does have potential, and it is a cross-chain platform, so it does a lot of stuff. And rumor has it that Binance has invested a lot of funds into that. If that's the case, then of course Binance is not going to let it go down. It's probably the hidden thing. So let's put it this way: if everything fails for Binance one day, all of a sudden Binance wakes up and governments and this and that want to block Binance, well, guess what? Thorchain can't be blocked. Nobody knows who owns it. It's truly decentralized. Nobody knows who owns it, and it runs perfectly. This has potential, right? So ultimately, I think this I'm just gonna, and I do own some. Just leave it in the bag. It's got potential. Next 5 years, I'm not sure. Short-term consumer, obviously, as I mentioned, right? That's a different story, right? Some of these exchanges, like Huobi token and this and that, they all got potential. By the way, they all got potential, right? So let's go to this one. This is Elrond, the e-gold, right? Apparently pegged to the gold. So Elrond itself is pegged to the price or something like this, they say. But I've seen some massive swings and I've seen massive dumps. But what I like about Elrond is this. This is the total supply, and this is what we've got currently in circulation. That I like. That's one of the reasons why I chose this to be a long time hold. Right, it's got potential. It's got very good long time hold potential. Another one, a coin that has disappointed me is Dash. Very disappointed with Dash. I mean, you can see this is the all-time high back in 2017 or 2018. It's never gone back there, so disappointed. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it there. If anyone wants to pick it up and hold on to it, by all means, but I'm not really a super fan of what it's been doing. For a privacy coin, Monero is number one. No one can beat Monero. Right, Chiliz we talked about a little while ago. Chiliz has good support. Again, this would be now one of my 5-year hold list. All right, it would definitely be a 5-year hold list. So I'll just leave it on that one. Let's move to the next one. This one here, Blockstacks. Now with Blockstacks, what they're trying to do is they're trying to build smart contracts on Bitcoin. That's what they're doing. It's like a layer 2 solution of Bitcoin. That's what they're doing. This is a beautiful project if they succeed in what they're doing. In fact, just last week, I believe they raised around $3 million to fund the project and everything as well. So there's people are investing money in the real world, right? They're investing real pounds, dollars to go. So these are corporations who are investing into this, you know, hedge funds and venture capitalists investing into this. So there's a massive potential of this. And also, if you look carefully, this is the total supply and this is what's available. So when I look at that, I say this has potential over the next 5 years, right? You know, you can't just go around one day and say, well, I'm going to make smart contracts on Bitcoin. It's going to take a few years. For that reason, I think this is actually a very good project to be into, and it will definitely hold its ground over the next 5 years. Okay, so that's that one. There's going to be a few coins I'm not going to mention here, right? Because they are kind of risky, so I'm not going to mention those, right? If anybody wants to do anything short term, then I can suggest this one. I'm not going to suggest it on the long term. It's not a long term coin. Zilliqa, again, I'm not going to suggest it as a long term coin. But it has potential, I'll be honest with you. So when you look at these numbers here, when you look at total coins, right, 21 billion in total of this, it does make sense that it's got potential. So if anyone picks it up and leaves it for 5 years, maybe even 10 years, it should be okay. It shouldn't be bad. Engine coin. Now, Engine coin, we know Samsung and all sorts of other companies are involved. All sorts of game companies are involved in this. It's building NFT for the games. It's a whole gaming coin. That's what it is, right? I mean, the logo sucks a little bit, but, you know, kind of amateur, but that's not the point. The point is it's at a discount. Has it got a future? I think it has a future. And also look at this total supply and look at this circulation supply. Exactly the same. Every single Engine coin is in the market at the user or the investor's pocket. It's in the investor's hand. Nobody's controlling anything. This is a beautiful coin to be in. So this is why I would be highly bullish, and I am bullish, and I've hold a whole bunch of this. Let's move to the next one. GRT, very new coin. In fact, when they launched, they pumped very hard, and then they dumped very hard, and I think they gave the discount, and that was the Coinbase effect. They actually launched on Coinbase. Coinbase has heavily interested in them, and this is like your Chainlink, right? What Graph is doing is indexing the cryptocurrency. So for example, you go to a website or something and you search, or you go to an exchange and you search something, Graph would be the protocol that basically delivers the most accurate data. That's what they're doing. They're indexing everything. So Graph definitely has a lot of potential here to do something. And also, if you look at the supply, it just makes sense. I mean, this is how many they had and this is how many is available. I'm not sure what happened to this 57, probably just a blip in the system, or probably some test coins or someone nicked it or something. But the point is, has potential, right? For 5 years, I would hold that. This would be, if we're seeing a $1.62 today, in 5 years, I won't be surprised if this is the same price as a Chainlink today. Right, so you can see it has potential for how far it can go. Right, Mana building is another game coin similar to Engine, but different. Mana is a game. Decentraland is a game, right? It's a virtual reality game, and they're doing quite well. And I think it has potential. More and more people are knowing about Mana, like buying land and this and that. And there's a lot of people are buying and selling land inside a game, and that's what it's become, right? Because you can't buy real land anymore. So if you want a piece of a land or something, that's what you would buy. And this is pumping the coin very hard. Has potential. I would hold it for 5 years. Not anything, you know, I wouldn't hold it any more than that. But 5 years, I think it definitely has potential there. Now, basic attention. This is a coin a lot of people have bought, like when it was like pennies, right? Brave. I'm sure you've heard of Brave browser, and this browser itself is Brave browser, by the way. I use Brave browser, and basic attention token is used to kind of monetize and everything. But ultimately, listen, decentralization and privacy centered people like myself who use the Brave browser as my main browser, this is proving something, right? This is doing something for us. So for that reason, people are investing into it. More and more people are coming into this, and you can tip people on YouTube. If you watch a YouTube or something, you can automatically tip people, so people can benefit. It's got pure utility. This is one of the reasons why I've been very bullish on it for a very long time, and I do hold some significant amount from way back in the days. But I think for 5 years, it's got potential. It's got potential. I won't give you a price on what I think it might be, but it's got potential. Right. So let's leave that. Synthetics is similar to another coin I'm going to mention. So it's similar to FTX as well. So, but synthetics, you can take something and make it into a synthetics token. That's the reason why I'm not going to mention this one, right? Nexo, it's an exchange token. Well, not even an exchange, it's a lending platform token. Can they survive? Possibly. They've got all the Nexo out there, but I think the platform itself, there's some issues. It's a UK company, but there's some issues. But ultimately, these are survivors. Remember, these are survivors. Their value comes from people buying it, because what they do, they say, if you have Nexo token, so they force you to hold it. They say, if you have Nexo token, then we'll give you XYZ amount of APY extra. So by doing that, they are directly or indirectly manipulating the price, and they will do that. They will continue to do that. So does it have potential? Of course it does, right? Short-term potential, definitely, but it's not something I would recommend for 5 years. However, it could potentially go up. It's one that you got to decide what you do. So that's that. Yearn Finance, I've talked about it a long time ago. If I want to see $100,000 coin, right, Yearn will probably be the one. Look at this. This is how many Yearn there is supposed to be, and this is how many is out there. All the Yearn is out there. But funnily, what Yearn does, the spikes are just too bad. It goes up and down too much. But Yearn definitely has a potential to hit 100K before Bitcoin does. Right, because it's so limited in supply, and I think when the bulls just wake up one day, they'll pump it and they'll take it all the way up to top 20. They have done it before, right? So there is potential there. Again, if you buy any, 5 years, stick around for 5 years. It's not one that you want to buy and just think, buy and wait for the short term. It's a long term thing. Now the next one. I'm not putting this on a 5-year list. There's a reason behind this. If Ethereum solves the gas issues, the fee issues and everything, if they solve it, Polygon, Ethereum, Matic will actually become irrelevant. Matic is only, benefiting from the fact that Ethereum has so many high gas fees and this and that. I think this will become irrelevant. So short term, it's a good coin to be in. As you can see, we pumped very high. It used to be pennies back in the days. Short term, yeah, during the bull run, you might be able to make a lot of things. It's got really good fundamentals. As you can see, really good stuff going on here. Valuation is low as well. It's got potential to probably hit $1 or probably more. But I wouldn't hold this for 5 years, I'll be honest with you, because when Ethereum upgrades, and if Ethereum solves their fee issue, then Polygon is irrelevant. However, I do hold Polygon, I do hold Matic, but I've held it from a long time, so I'm not really that fussed about it. The recent ones I had, I've dumped it anyway, so that's a different story. Near Protocol. So remember I said I was going to talk about another one similar to synthetics. Well, that would be Near Protocol. Right, and I think synthetics is getting a lot of thing, but you can put anything and do whatnot. Near Protocol actually is more of a combination of FTX. So earlier on, the exchange I showed FTX and synthetics, right? It's a combination of both. So Near has more chance of doing something, and I love how Near's been doing its thing, right? So I love that, and I think there's a lot more going on. And also, if you look at synthetics, right? just look at this number, 212 and 215. How do you have more supply than what you've printed? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, leave that. That's the reason why I don't want to touch those coins, because it doesn't make any sense to me. And again, there's some sort of a blip there, but this makes more sense. It was made thoughtfully, it was created thoughtfully. 5 years definitely has good potential. UMA has good potential, right? It's one of those coins I don't really talk much about it, but it was once upon a time, it was like $5 or $6 when it launched on Coinbase, had the Coinbase effect, had the massive pump, been sitting around here just hovering quietly, doing nothing much. Again, the problem I see again, look, 101, 102. I don't know how they managed to get one more on the thing. Maybe it's a coin market cap thing. Let's leave that. Theta Fuel is similar to what VeChain does. So VeChain gives you Vito, Theta gives you T-Fuel. Again, if you're going to be holding Theta, you should also hold some T-Fuel as well. I think both of them will kind of correlate with each other. It's really, really good. Sushi, we've mentioned. Sushi is taking up a lot of the market capitalization, the usability of Uniswap, but that's only temporarily. It might potentially go up. Nano, we had a massive pump today. Not today, sorry. Recently, we had a massive pump, but also it's pretty scary. It's pretty scary. I'm not going to say too much about that one. All right. Reserve right now, there's a coin that I've been looking at. I've been keeping a good eye on. I've actually invested some as well. This has potential. So if someone looking for a coin that's pennies, this for 5 years has potential. I would hold that for 5 years. So definitely has good potential. Harmony one, you know, there's issues. You've probably seen me talk about Harmony One only when people ask me for it, but I personally don't really promote Harmony One. Again, I see issues that don't make any sense. Like, that's the total supply we're supposed to have, and that's how much we have. So what is it? I mean, are you going to stop at 13, or are you going to make it into 15 or 16? I could understand 1 or 2 numbers here being a blip, but when you have a whole billion here, right? So there's a billion token more, like almost 400 million tokens more here. Something doesn't make sense. This is one of the reasons why I'll be careful. Short term, if you're going to make money, good luck, and you know, just keep it there. But other than that, long term, you'd be very careful. Flow is one of those coins that I've got on my radar as well. I have been tracking it, and it's kind of underpriced right now if you look at it and look at how many flow there is, and look at this number, exact on the dot. That's what I love about those. Anchor, very relevant. So if you're looking for a cheap coin and you're looking for something under $1, Anchor, very relevant. And I'll tell you what I mean by relevant. If ETH 2.0 is not launched yet, and they might potentially last for another year, 2 year, 3 year, even 4 year, we might have all sorts of drama going on. Anchor helps kind of smooth out the system, because Anchor allows people to stake and whatnot and this and that is a reason why I think Anchor has massive potential for the next 5 years. Potentially within the next 5 years it could easily be insignificant, but if you're planning to hold for 5 years, it's a good coin. It could easily pump to about $1. So I'm thinking that could easily go to $1 later on. I can't show it to you on the chart, because on the chart it's going to show me currently, but looking at overall fundamentals, I think Anchor has potential to go even further to a really lovely price, at least $1 or so. What else are we looking at? So I'm just going through, as you can see, I'm going through the list, guys, and I'm just trying to do it. This is for everybody. All right, so now let's go to page 2. You see, it's not as simple as it is, right? So apparently this is BitMEX coin. Now, I know a lot of people have been pumping it. I'm not quite sure, maybe short time, but I wouldn't really touch it, right? I'm not, personally, I won't touch this one. Anyway, this is an exchange coin, right? Exchange coin, Xerox, everyone knows this. This actually has some potential, but the only reason I'm a little bit concerned is this. So again, I wouldn't touch it for the, you know, it has potential. Look, put it this way, it has potential. It's got its own blockchain or some sort of it's running on Binance sidechain or something. Would I hold it for a long term? 5 years, I'll give this is a gamble coin. So this is one of those coins that I will hold for 5 years, just because it's powered by Binance and it's running with Binance. It's part of Binance. Binance will definitely have something to do with it and could easily pump this higher. So I would definitely hold this one. 1inch, we know what 1inch is. It's the decentralized exchange of all our exchanges, right? So for that reason, we know, you know, you should all know that I'm very bullish on 1inch, and I think right now it's a discount bargain. It's very undervalued at this price. It's undervalued. It's got potential to go. We mentioned VTHO already, and this is VTHO. Again, I think if you're holding VeChain, you should also hold VTHO as well. It's going to definitely, even if you get it for free, doesn't matter. Hold as many VTHO as you can. It's got potential. All right. Loopring is similar to Matic, right? Loopring is similar to Matic. If Matic becomes irrelevant, also Loopring will become irrelevant if ETH 2.0 comes out, because currently they are solving the fee problem, right? Matic and Loopring are solving the problem, but when you look at the price from where it was to where it is, yeah, does it have any survivability? I doubt it. So this is one of the reasons why I'm not really looking too much at that one. Right, CKB, Nervous Network. This I would say 5-year hold, right? This is a 5-year hold. Also Ocean Protocol, 5-year hold. So I'm just going to quickly run through, because my list is long. My list is very long, and I'm giving you all of them, right? I can't give you all the numbers, but I'm sure you've kept track of them. Ocean Protocol has potential, 5 years. Definitely hold on to it. I would definitely hold on to that. All right, let's go down. I'm looking at my list and I'm looking at, where's the other one gone? Okay, you probably see me just passing through. This one on a short term might be and might have some good potential. It might actually pump at some point, right? The reason I'm looking at it is because if you look at, this is the total and this is what's already out on the market, it has good potential, right? So from here, I don't see why this should not 10x, right? So if this is at 3 cents right now and it pumps to 30 cents, then you 10x your money. Has good potential, but I would say short term, because Reef really hasn't shown anything apart from some getting some celebrities and pumping it, right? I really haven't seen anything here. So, you know, valuation, all of that, none of this makes any sense. This is the only thing that made sense to me. None of this makes any sense. You know, so it could potentially go, but it's not one I would highly recommend. It could be a short-term thingy. Dodo exchange, again, it's an exchange token. I think this is a massive discount after it launched. Everything looks good. All of these telling me that yes, this definitely is a good buy and hold for 5 years. Scale Network launched on Coinbase, had the Coinbase effect, got the massive dump, massive potential. I would definitely hold on to that because looking at all the numbers that I'm seeing, it just makes sense to hold for 5 years. So that's that. Where's my other one? So I'm just going through the list quickly because this is long. Sand is another one. Again, if you look at Sand, all of it out where it is right now, I'm holding it. It's got great potential. 5-year hold, definitely. No financial advice, by the way, just to let you guys know, because I know I've been talking, but I haven't given you financial advice. Okay, let's go. Get rid of all of this. You can see I'm just quickly just like going right through them. All right, Swipe. I believe that's the company Binance is launching its card through. Right, it's a UK-based company. I think they're in Marble Arch. If anybody knows Marble Arch, W2 postcode. But they are I believe they are going to be managing the Binance debit card. So do they have potential? Of course they do. Is it at a good location right now? Massive discount in my opinion. And looking at all of these numbers, everything makes sense. So I think there is good potential, and this should be I mean, if someone's holding for 5 years, then this should, I mean, depends if this company doesn't mess around like Wirecard and all sorts, right? And Binance does launch its card and all the other bits and bobs with it, this could easily pump, right? So I'm just looking at the realistic nature of what could happen. I'm saying this could pump if Binance launches its card global and this company manages it and has other perks and this and that, then yeah, it's going to be worth something. So this definitely, just be careful if you do, but 5-year hold definitely. All right, let's go to the next one. Right, I'm skipping through some of these trust wallets and this and that. They're wallet tokens. I don't really know why you need a token for the wallet. You know, it doesn't make any sense. Am I going to get discounts? No. So it doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to say anything. Of course they could easily pump. Somebody might come around and say, oh, they could pump. Of course they could pump, but I'm not going to talk about those. Right, none of the, I mean, those doesn't make any sense to me. Let's go. Where is it? All right, Travala.com. I don't have to explain it. Travala.com, right? Think about it as the Expedia, right? It's a travel thing where they use Ava. Has it got potential? Of course. You know, these things I would hold for 5 years, right? It doesn't matter what price it is. It doesn't matter about any of this. It's a travel.com, right? They're using this because you had Expedia accepting Bitcoin cryptocurrency and whatnot. Then a competitor comes along and says, well, why don't we just have our own cryptocurrency? That's what they did, right? So looking at that, you know that when all the travel and everything wakes up, it just makes sense. Hold it for 5 years. It's like buying a stock in a travel agency. I think it would do really, really well. Where's my other coins gone? So the another coin I'm looking for, where is it? And also some of these coins, you'll see them dump very fast. New Cypher, I have no idea. It launched on Coinbase and it just basically dumped, and I have no idea what this coin is about. I did actually check on it, but I'm not interested. Right, you see me pass through. So I'm doing this right now, guys, while I'm recording this. I'm hungry, I want to go and eat something, but I could heat my food up, so not an issue. Linear, that's what I wanted to show you. Linear. So Linear's had a massive dump from where it all-time high. So this was the launch price, by the way. So from launch price it went there, and I want to show you this quickly. Actually, brilliant market structure for something that dumped, right? So you know, it dumped, and then as you look here, it went up, and then we had an all-time high, and then currently we're down here, right? And when you look at this, it just looks beautiful. Like this is a structure. This is a beautiful structure. And for the price that it's at the moment, right? When it comes back, right? For the price what it is right now, I think it's a bargain. It's a bargain because look at all of this numbers. Look at all of this. this is a bargain. And I think if someone's going to be holding it for 5 years and looking for penny coins, and that's another penny coin that you should be putting on your radar. Now, this is a new one, Toko token, TKO, available on Binance, launched on Binance actually. And I mean, it just not stopping. I talked about it yesterday. I think yesterday it was $2 and it already pumped another 27-30%. So this has potential. Is again, exchange tokens, if they're doing a good thing and the good exchanges, they have potential. Do you know what the funny thing is? Binance launches on the stock market, Binance valuation per token, stock token, right? What, $250, $300? Check this out. If Binance launched its own coin in a decentralized manner, right? Binance coin could have been worth $400 or $500 per coin, right? But Binance doesn't want to be decentralized. Binance is a centralized entity. So this is why they are more interested in centralized stuff. They want to bring the central institutions inside. This is why they did what they did, right? Binance is not decentralized. If they were, they would have bought their own token. And trust me, their token would be worth a lot more because you got a lot of people interested in them. So yeah, another token that launched as it's exchange tokens. And remember, exchange tokens always have the tendency to 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x. If not, like someone like Binance, if they can go to that stage, they will pump even harder. So that's what it is. And having Binance as their IEO, initial exchange offering, Binance definitely has something to do with it. So obviously Binance will pump it. I always say this, Binance will pump it. Right, let's go to the next one. Where is it? Right, SafePal, again another coin that launched, and there's going to be a lot of these coins that I'm going to be launching, I'm going to be talking about, which actually launched on Binance, right? They might not have the massive adoption, but they do have potential. So SafePal, again, if you look at the price, we're just above the 50% mark. We had a dump, which is not a problem, but look at these numbers. It's all out there on the market. I think if you look at the value, this is a fair valuation for what they've got, right? Look, 257 million, nothing much. So I think the market will carry it up a little bit. It's got potential maybe in the future. The team is pretty strong from what I saw. So I think here, this is another coin that I would hold for 5 years if I was to go and buy something, right? Here's another coin, I mean, currently pumping a little bit. I would hold that for 5 years. It's not bad, it's pretty good coin. Math, I'm not sure why anybody needs a wallet token. Again, it doesn't make any sense, but you know what, maybe it might pump. I'm not even looking at that. So where's my other coin gone? I'm going down quickly, guys. Quickly. I'm looking for Radium. So Radium seems to be Tomo. By the way, Tomo is a blockchain as well. Again, if you look at the price, if you look at the structure, it looks pretty good. I'm not sure about their total market supply. What's going on here? Maybe it's a blip or something. I'm not sure. As far as I know, they should also have 100 million here, but I'm not sure why it's not updated. But this, again, I'm holding for 5 years. So, you know, it's potential. This is just me. You do you, I do me, right? Right, where is my Radium? Okay, Radium's clearly gone down a little bit. Polkastar or Pulse, right? Good potential, massive discount in my opinion. This is a smart contract platform, kind of a decentralized exchange, or technically centralized exchange, for launching new protocols and getting that market. Think about it like I think it's called Seeders, or all of those. You know, when you launch like a Kickstarter, this is the Kickstarter of the cryptocurrency. It's got good potential, and I think it's a good discount right now. If anyone picks it up, it's got good potential to last until 5 years, hopefully, if something else doesn't come out. So that will be something. Now, this is a little gem that I'm actually holding on to. If Atari is doing what they're doing, then the Atari token right now is in a good bargain, and I would definitely hold some of that. If you look at where it is, what it's got, it's a bit risky, but I think it's got potential. Too many coins, in my opinion. But again, if Atari is going to be launching some brand new games and do implement the Atari token system in there, it's a gamble I'm willing to take. So this would be something I would hold for some time. I mean, I've mentioned Coty. Coty got a donation from, or not donation, but an investment from Cardano. They got, I think they got 500,000 or something donation. So far everything's out. It's an Israeli company. You know, they're trying to build a payment system. I'm not so sure, so I'm not going to recommend this. It's up to you guys. You guys do you. But currently, I think it's in a good discount. It has potential. If they succeed, then maybe in 5 years' time, they could potentially go and do what they want to do. Right. What are we going on next? Yeah, a lot of these coins just change locations, right? I mean, there's a lot of fake coins that pop up from nowhere. I don't know how they come up. All right, Lightinary. Lightinary is like similar to Civic. It's got a good valuation. I do like this, right? Lightinary, I think it's got potential. It's one of those that I have got on my list. Lit is on my list. Has potential. So if someone's picking it up, stick around for 5 years. You'll be all right. Rocket Pool is very similar to Anchor, but didn't get as much attention as Anchor. And I think right now this is kind of the price is there, but I'm not sure. You know, I wouldn't recommend this one, so I'll leave this one for you guys. Where's my coin gone? Where's my Radium gone? Let's have a look. Okay, Ramp. Ramp is a bad boy. I like Ramp. Ramp is a very new coin that just came out, where basically you can do all sorts of automatic market making and whatnot. And Ramp, literally, what they're saying is they ramp up your amount of money you can make, right? So for that very reason, where people are very interested in making a ton of money, Ramp has potential, right? And also knowing that all of the Ramp is out on the market, I think Ramp has potential. I'm definitely holding onto Ramp for the next 5 years. So that's just me. You do you, I do me. No financial advice, by the way, guys. Okay, next one. You know, there's some of my coins that I've got have just vanished, right? Vanished, literally, right? Anyway, there's CTSI, Cartesi. It's a slow-moving coin, right? But it has seen massive gains this year. Again, I would hold on to this. Think about it as a secret little gem. I would hold on to this for at least 5 years and see where we go from there, right? Rari is a new coin. It's an NFT protocol. But again, I didn't see any use case. When I went to Rari, I was using Ethereum. So why do I need Rari? I didn't make any sense. So I'm not sure about this. I'll leave that guys to you guys to figure it out. Some of these just doesn't make any sense. You go to the platform and you got to go and create an NFT or whatnot, and then they're like, pay with Ethereum. So hold on, what am I buying you for? You know, doesn't make any sense. All right, FLM. Now, FLM Flamingo is one of those projects that Binance launched on Binance platform, and it's been sitting under the radar for a very long time. As you can see, it's on the 314. It's been sitting under the radar for a very long time. This is doing quite well. Short term, I think it's got potential. Even long term, it's one of those, it's just going to survive. So that is something I'm going to be looking at. It's one of the first ones Binance launched, and it's dropped a little bit, but it's sitting there, you know, just sitting there. It's just doing its thing. So I think this one's got potential. I'll be keeping that on my radar. Now, where is my Rari gone? Sorry, not Rari. I'm looking for my Radium. Sorry guys, a lot of these coins, this is the thing, once you leave the top 100, right, it is ridiculous, right, how fast they can move up and down the cap, right? There are some really good projects that I want to put onto your radar, what I think about it, but they just move so fast, it's just ridiculous. All right, I mean, look at this Cardena, another fake coin probably. Wow, I mean, look at this. This is just, I mean, what to say, right? They move fast. They move fast. And another thing you have to understand, a lot of these coins, when they're moving up and down, some of them get dumped, some of them just completely just vanish. So it's just one of those. Where is it? Right, Hard Protocol. Right, Hard Protocol is another project that launched on Binance. I've noticed every now and then it comes and it gets pumped on Binance, and currently sitting at this particular level, it has potential. I would give it a 50-50 chance. It's not one of those that I would definitely buy and hold. I'm not holding any at this present moment, but I think at the end of the bull run, if we do have an end of a bull run and this thing collapses completely and I see that it's still surviving, even if it's on page 500, I might pick up some on a good discount. But other than that, I wouldn't really go into it right now. So that's one of them. My list is long, by the way, guys, so if you're getting bored, then I'm sorry. All right, okay, I'm doing it right now with you. It's not like I'm pre-prepared, because you can't pre-prepare this. This is how crazy it is. So this is Rari, right? Okay, we got Rari, right? This is the price of Rari. This is the one I was talking about. You buy Rari, you go to Rari protocol, and you need Ethereum. So what the hell do I need this for? doesn't make any sense, some of these things. It's just everybody coming out trying to take your Ethereum and your Bitcoin. That's all they want. Every one of these coins just want your Ethereum and your Bitcoin. This FIO protocol, so if somebody's looking for something for less than $1, this is one. Stick your money, forget about it. For the next 5 years, you'll be laughing. All right, they're doing some crazy stuff. They basically give you your own custom kind of a wallet, right? So whatever the extension is, you can have your name and then dot whatever. So it just makes it easy for you to send and receive money. There's a lot of work they need to do, but I think the team is quite good and they're pretty active. So there should be some more stuff. And if you look at the other stuffs as well, very, very good. So I think there's a good potential there. Some of my coins just vanish. I mean, look, put it this way, if they vanish completely, I'm not even going to bother. I'll tell you this right now, right? So on the next page, if I don't see some of the coins that I've been talking about, if they're not there, I'm getting rid of it. I'm not even going to be bothered. Right, okay, Keeper version 1. Now, Keeper is created by the same founder as Wi-Fi, Eufy, right? As you can see, similar to Eufy, what's going on here. So it has potential. I've seen this pump hard, actually. Not sure what's going on, so I wouldn't really say anything too much right now, but it's not one I would hold for 5 years, but it's one of those that it pumps and it dumps quite big, actually, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Wow. Okay, guys, I'm not going to even bother, right? Because there's some of the coins that I had on the list. If it's not on this page, I'm not even going to mention it anymore. Right, because this is one of the reasons why I don't like mentioning these things. So I'm only doing this for brother Tayyib, and the first part of it was actually for Amit. So guys, obviously these are the names I'm mentioning because these are the guys I've been doing it for. Now, Avagotchi is by the same founder of Aave. This has potential, so I would definitely pick some up and just hold it on for 5 years. This does have future. This one also, right now, I think it's at a ridiculous price, but it's a survivor. So I think this ridiculous price, I will pick some up. And look at the valuation. It's just ridiculous, right? So Bank to the Future, they're trying to build all sorts of crazy stuff. The UK company, they're trying to build a bank that's on the blockchain, right? Got potential. If they succeed, you never know. So far, they've been surviving, right? And they have been continuously growing. So this was like kind of similar to some of the coins where when they launch, they have one price and then they dump. As you can see here, they launched, they dumped, and currently there. This looks like structure to me, right? Because of that, personally, I would pick some up and just hold it, right? So BFT, I'll definitely hold some and just leave it there. Where are the rest? Right, okay, now I'm not going to talk about those other coins because if the coins aren't here, we're not going to talk about it. So I'll just leave it there. I won't really go any longer with that one. Now, strategy. I want to talk part 4, right? So let's end this part and let's talk about part 4.
My name is Jordan Belfort. The year I turned 26, I made $49 million, which really pissed me off because it was 3 shy of $1 million a week.
So part 4, we're talking about strategy. So all of these coins that I've mentioned here, right? I'm constantly saying potential, potential, potential. What I'm looking at is there are coins that all of these coins, by the way, could easily pump tomorrow, right? If it pumps tomorrow, you would have 2 strategies. You can buy it today with the mindset that I'm going to be in it for 5 years and put it in your wallet, throw your wallet away somewhere and forget about it for the next 5 years. Number 1 strategy. So you've done the thing, I bought and I forgot. That's it, right? And then 5 years later, you open it up and whatever money you make, happy days to you. That's the 5-year strategy, right? For not seeing or getting, being affected by that. Or the short term, you put it in for 5 years and then, you realize tomorrow it's pumped 100%. Well, take your initial investment out. That's the strategy I'll be playing. I won't be one of those that I'm going to put it in my wallet, throw it away for 5 years and forget about it. I'm not playing that game. It's too dangerous. What I will do is I've bought, say for example, I buy all of them. So this is no financial advice, just an example. If I was to buy all of these coins, and I think I've mentioned like almost about 50 coins or something. I can't remember how many I mentioned. But what I'm saying is if I buy them and they pump 100%, then it's only right for me to take out by selling half of it, take my initial investment out so I don't get hurt anymore. Now, if the market 5 years down the line decides to dump or pump and go to $1 million, happy days, it's all free money. So you got to minimize your risk, right? So that's what I would do. Those are the strategies that I would use. But yeah, other than that, guys, there's not really much else. So I know this is a very, very long video. I bet you guys did not expect this at all, right? So, thank you for sticking around. If you have stuck around, I'm not going to say anything else. Just going to look at currently, see what the market is saying. So let's have a look at a different chart. Let's see what the market is saying on the hourlies before we end. So this is Bitcoin on the hourly we're looking at, and so far what we can see, ignore this moving average, they're not relevant. All right, the moving average right now is not relevant because we're on the hourly, we're not using the daily. Also, actually, I wanted to show you something, how we fell below the trend line. So remember this yellow trend line, this is where we fell below the trend line, right? But if I change something, watch this, it gets beautiful. On the weekly, right, we fell below the trend line, right? So you can see the red candle, but look at the monthly, right? So when you look at the bigger picture, it's a whole different thing. We're actually on the trend line. If you look at monthly, we're actually bang on the trend line. So that's what I wanted to show you. And obviously the trend line always adjusts depending basically where this candle closes. So if this candle closes below, then of course we are seeing that, those monthly candles I was talking about. But other than that, if we just look at the price, forget all of this, actually, sorry. Let's see what it's doing currently in the market. So we can actually end this on hopefully a positive note, right? So on the market right now, all I'm seeing is a lovely little bounce, right? We've definitely got a higher low. We've, from a better low from this. We've got a higher high as well. Very, very good. This is on the hourly. I don't see much of an issue here. I think the market will recover. It will recover faster than you could think. Of course, there's a little bit of a dump, but how can you have a crypto market when you don't have a dump, right? You can't. Crypto is all about dumps and pumps, right? This is what it is. I mean, look at this, beautiful. While I've been doing this video, we were at 2,000,001, and now we're at 2,000,026, right? So we've had $25 billion enter while I've been talking. Isn't that beautiful, right? Isn't that beautiful? This is the beauty of cryptocurrency. This is the beauty of cryptocurrency. I mean, look at this number change, right? So this is, we know where the money's come in. You can see here, we know where the money's come in, right? So remember how many billion we had here, how many billion we had here, right at the beginning of the video. Just rewind back, you can see it. Anyway, guys, I'm not going to make it any longer. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found this educational. This is not a financial advice. You do you, I do me. This is only for educational purposes. And some of the things are just my thoughts and my views. So other than that, I will put some timestamps to make it easier, because I know some of the sections are very long, some of the sections are very short, but ultimately I'll put some things in. That is one of the reasons why I've said part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. So hopefully this all helps everybody. It will probably be the longest video I've ever done, but I just needed to get all 4 of this into one, because I've had too many questions and too many people asking me for too many things, and I thought, you know what, let me just put it all in one, right, while I've got the time. So it is definitely the longest video. I hope you guys find value from it. Share with another. As I said, share it onto your WhatsApp groups. If you have access to my WhatsApp group, then bring some people over. Let's grow the community, let's grow together, and let's do this, right? So that's it. Other than that, I'm just going to say thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure doing another video for you guys. Market looks solid. All of this red doesn't matter. It's only a blip in the system, right? We're going a very, very long way from here. So I hope everybody understands, and thank you from myself, and I'll see you on another one. Thank you very much. Bye bye.